안녕하세요, 오페일입니다. 오랜만에 인사드립니다. 사실 이 몇 주 사이에 저에게 큰 변화가 있었습니다. 기존 밀가루 단식에 더해서 한 발 더 나아가고자 탄수화물을 줄이기 시작했는데요. 현재는 탄수화물을 극도로 제한하면서 케토제닉을 시작했습니다. 그래서 오늘 영상에서는 켄 베리 박사가 말하는 케토제닉이 무엇이고 이행했을 때 이점은 무엇인지에 대해서 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Very first steps to converting from the standard American diet or the standard Western diet over to the healthy, ancestrally appropriate ketogenic diet. And so I'm going to keep this video very, very simple and very basic. So let's go through the 7 steps of starting the keto diet. Step number 1 is to remove all sugars of all kinds from your diet. There are so many people who know that sugar in the sugar bowl and sugar that they add to their coffee, that's bad for you. We all know that. The sugar in donuts, the sugar in pastries, all that stuff's bad for you. You know that. But a lot of people think that the sugar in organic agave nectar is good for them, but it's not. It's just sugar. A lot of people think that locally sourced, organically produced honey is very good for you. I don't believe it is at all. I think it's nothing but sucrose and fructose, which are sugars. And so all of that stuff needs to be taken out of your diet, whether the food manufacturer added the sugar or the restaurant added the sugar or you added the sugar. It's still sugar. It all needs to go. That's step 1. And that's honestly the most important step. Many people, just by going and doing step 1, they'll start to feel better immediately. That's how powerful step 1 is. Step 2 is almost as powerful, and that is to remove all grains from your diet. And so the most common grains would be wheat, rice, corn. All those need to go. None of those contain any nutrition that you can't get better from another source. All of them are very inflammatory to your gut. Some people have immediate, obvious inflammation if they eat grains. Other people, the inflammation is much more subtle. It may not show up in the gut. It may show up as inflammation in a joint or inflammation in the skin. But to be on a truly healthy ketogenic diet, you have to remove all grains from your diet. Now, that obviously includes the grains in processed foods that you would get in a cardboard box or a plastic bag, but it also includes organic stone ground grains as well. Grains, in order for them to be healthy for human beings to eat at all, have to go through a multi-step process of soaking and sprouting before they're even remotely healthy for human beings. I would say let's just dispense with all that trouble and not eat grains. It's very easy to do. There's still thousands of foods you can enjoy on a ketogenic diet. So step 2, get rid of all the grains. Step 3 is to remove all factory seed oils or vegetable seed oils from your diet. Now, the manufacturers love to call these vegetable oils, even though there are no vegetables in these oils. These are canola oil, which comes from a rapeseed plant. This is corn oil. This is soybean oil. This is safflower. This is peanut oil. All of these have a terrible omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. They're all inflammatory in nature. They're going to inflame your gut or other parts of your body. Also, all margarine needs to go in the garbage. Don't even give that to your neighbor. All shortening, vegetable shortening, Crisco, country crock, I can't believe it's not butter. All of that's crap. You need to throw that away. You need and don't eat that ever again. Even if you stop keto, please never eat industrial factory processed seed oils again. They're very bad for your body. That's step 3. Step 4 is you have to stop being afraid of good, healthy fats. This would include butter, ghee, bacon grease, beef tallow, avocado oil, olive oil. These are natural oils that you don't have to go to a factory to get. You can actually make these oils in your own home with the raw supplies. And so obviously those are much more ancestrally appropriate. Our ancestors have made oils from these sources for hundreds and even thousands of years. They're very easy to do. They don't involve any high heat, any chemicals, any hexane, any detergents, any of that kind of stuff. You just make the oil from the oily source, right? So stop being afraid of these fats. These fats are not going to lower your HDL. They're not going to raise your triglycerides. They're not going to raise your A1C. They're only going to move your markers for chronic disease in the right direction. Okay. Step number 5 is to stop being afraid of salt. Salt is good for you. All mammals, from the smallest to the largest, love salt and need salt. There is a reason that animals will walk miles to lick on a salty rock. And that's because all mammals need salt. If you prick your finger and you taste the blood, it's very, very salty. That's okay. That's normal. We are salty creatures, okay? Stop being afraid of salt. Don't thoughtlessly use the salt that they give you at the restaurant because they're going to buy the cheapest variety they can find. Use a good quality rock salt that's been mined from deep under the ground. That's the safest and it has the most minerals. The next step is to eat whole, real foods. The ketogenic way of eating is becoming very popular, and therefore people are starting to make keto products. Keto bars, keto shakes, keto powders, keto ready-made meals. Yeah, okay, that's probably better than eating a Snickers bar. But how about we just follow step 6 and focus on eating real whole foods that don't have a label, right? Because if you buy a T-bone, it's just beef. That's it. There's no added, nothing else, right? If you just buy broccoli, then it's broccoli. That's a real whole food. And so for at least the first few months of your ketogenic journey, I want you to really focus on step 6, which is eating real whole ketogenic foods, okay? And then step 7 is that you have to mind your electrolytes. You have to make sure you're getting plenty of sodium, plenty of chloride, plenty of magnesium, and plenty of potassium. These are very important. They're vital for your good health. They're vital to keep you from having keto flu. They're vital for helping you feel your best. Now, 50,000 years ago, we got all the minerals we need from drinking water out of streams and rivers and lakes. And all those water sources are rich in minerals, but I wouldn't recommend drinking those these days. You can just get a good product that has all 4 in them, or you can buy several cheap products that have them in them individually. This is very simple. And if you follow these steps and check out my Keto 101, then you can make the ketogenic way of eating the healthiest, easiest, most sustainable diet that you've ever eaten in your life. It can become the permanent way that you eat, and you can reap all the health benefits from that. Now,